Everybody, that's right. It's me, Captain Ace. We live action. You already know what it is. Yes, that's right. I'm on schedule this time. No more 3 weeks Bleach in bulk type thing. Not to say that was a bad idea, you know. I do appreciate the ones who like the idea, but I got to get back on track. You know, I like it to do it better this way. Now, the thing with this chapter. Bleach chapter 646, titled The Second Eye. Now, overall to me, this chapter felt like a short chapter, but we all know the main important thing that happened in this chapter. Of course, that was the reveal of the vote standing of Lil or Lyle, you know, Star Knight X, you know, the X-axis. Now we see, of course, it actually did touch bases upon how Nanao, she actually went to inform the others about, you know, Kuroku's whereabouts and what he's doing. And of course, Shinji was like, hey, that's good, we know where he's at, he can handle it, let's go. And of course, that's when Momo's like, no, we should help him out and everything. And that's when they have to stop and think, what will Ukitake do in a situation like this? You know, out of all the people they thought about him. I guess because Shunsui and Ukitake are best friends, and since Ukitake is dead or unconscious, you know, they really have to think about what would he do if he were here, literally, like if he was alive, you know. So they come to grips to think like, okay, he would say, hey, he'd be alright, leave it to him, he can handle it. And of course they thought about it, Genri Yusai Yamamoto, he would have said the same thing. Now, on to the battle, okay? Of course, we see, now this makes perfect sense. How Lyle, he was able to restore his Reishi rifle, because we see it got cut down even further by Shunsui, but he thinks that diorama, I believe that's what he said, and he's able to restore it, because basically that is his bow. It's made out of pure reishi, but it's not in energy form, it's just straight solid. And we've seen this to be done with other Quincy's before. I don't know if this is like to show how strong they are, you know, like a weaker one can only do, you know, just straight energy, another one can just make it solid. One would say that, some would say the one of that pure energy would seem like it's stronger, but whatever, because if it's made out of pure energy, excuse me, you cut it, it wouldn't necessarily get cut in half like his rifle did. Sort of like with Stark and those wolves. You know, it was just like reishi wolves, like they were just cutting through flames. That's how Rose was explaining it. Now, with that rifle, of course, he does not shoot bullets. They're just bullet shaped. He's actually shooting the arrows, and it makes sense. Of course, he's a Quincy. But the thing is, we see later on, he doesn't go by the rules of the game. He takes his eyes off of Shunsui, and we see what that triggers. Now, at some point during this chapter, Shunsui makes a whole bunch of shadow clones. Yes, shadow clones. I know. I'm not even going to go there because I'm pretty sure almost every reviewer didn't mention or touch bases on the term shadow clones, but whatever. Now, the thing is, once he lands a severe critical blow on Lyle, you know, we see that's when he actually activates the X-axis. He goes on to explain, you see the other eye opens up, and you see, because his eye is always closed. And I like how the power was hidden within that eye. I do like that because I actually thought it was just for show. I honestly did. And upon him opening up that eye, he goes on to explain his power naturally, the typical cliche, but I guess if any character was to just activate their power, and the writer doesn't explain it, we'd be left clueless. But I could think of better ways to have a power explained without the opponent explaining it to his enemy, show it in a flashback or something when he first discovered his power, when he was training, whatever. So, of course, when he opens up that eye each time, basically that's when he becomes basically intangible. And what's crazy about all of this, not only can he shoot through damn near anything, he can pierce anything and destroy city-like structures, he can become intangible where things can just go through him. We see Shunsui Shikai, it just goes straight through him. You know, I don't know if it actually cuts him and as it's going through just easily, the wound just closed up, but I'm pretty sure it's just goes straight through. And every time he comes within like, every time it seems like he's geared to get hit or take critical damage, he opens up that eye. And we see in the past times, in the previous chapter, that's when he was opening up that eye, apparently. Now, he says when he opens it up for the 3rd time, that's when he's fully able to use the X-axis power. And I think that's when they gave the reference of how the Buddhist only forgives 3 times. On the 3rd time, he would not stay his hand, something like that of that nature. But when he activates his eye, you know, you see the spirit energy of Ryachu go everywhere, and we see the weird looking Quincy cross. Like, it looks a little bit different, especially on the edges. And we see the panel, the bottom panel of his face, how he has the marks. But take it back, when he opened up his eye, it looks just a little bit different. Like the mark gets bigger. It's not just both eyes are completely identical. But this guy turns into something just hella weird. I mean, even with the Espada, when their powers are sealed in their Zanpakuto form, they're in their human form, and they go into their resurrection, you would think it'd be something similar. The look will be a little bit similar to how they look in their human form. Just how a Bunkai should be similar to the Shikai. It should be just an upgraded version of what the Shikai is. So with these forms of the Quincy's, you know, these Stern Ridders, I really say Star Ridders, these Star Knights are the same thing, but it's like you would think it'd look similar, but that's not the case. This guy, he has, 8 wings, I believe it's 8 wings, 3 holes in each wing. Looks like he's encased in armor that has like look like just a long capish robe type of armor, and he has the big halo. And as soon as he does that, he goes on, shows you he cannot move. He can't move at all, and instantly we see the wings shoot energy from each of the holes. Bam! Well, one of the wings shoots energy from each of the holes and hits Shunsui, but it doesn't look like a direct hit. One looked like it's hit him in his right there in his hat, or it looked like he's missing basically, and it hits right here in his collarbone and one right here. But he looks shocked and surprised. But the thing about this is, we go on to find out that he was the last one to become a Star Knight. You know, to go from nothing. Well, I'm not necessarily going to say nothing because of course he's a Quincy, but he was basically the last one to become a Star Knight. So clearly, Juhai, he didn't do this in an alphabetical order, clearly. But the thing about it is, he figures like, hey, I'm that of the outskirts of a god, you know. And of course, I think right there, that's when he's gonna die because of his arrogance. His arrogance. I mean, if you want to call yourself a god, I mean, if you're someone who wants to call himself a god, Aizen and Juha, they are the 2 ones who can really say, I am a god, especially Juha, you know. But it's just crazy. I mean, you would think Juha, he would have fought Hashwalk, but that's not the case. But yet again, he's stuck with someone with a gun, naturally. And I think this whole thing is just a setup for the Bunkai. I used to wonder so badly, like, man, who is he gonna fight to where he has to go Bunkai? We see when he was fighting Stark. You know, Stark, the #1 Espada, Uno, was pushing him to the brink of using his Bunkai. And Ukitake, like, no, don't do it where everyone else can see you. Now it's just him and Lyle. No one else can see them, it's just them. You know, so maybe this will be the perfect opportunity for him to use Bunkai. It only makes sense. This is the last arc. It looks like things are wrapping up. It really does make sense. But what's crazy, what could his Bunkai be? Is it going to be more games, more extended versions of games? I mean, what the hell is it going to be? Because this guy is intangible, and he can just pierce through anything. And now, I'm reserving my judgment as far as his look. Do I like the look? No. It reminds me of an angel from Evangelion. Or that one anime, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Refection, you probably know what I'm talking about. You all know what I'm talking about. Look like that. It was a mecha series. He was blue and white, had the weird ears. Yeah, he fought the weird aliens and creatures. You all know what I'm talking about. That's what this reminded me of. And the reason why I'm reserving my judgment, we don't know what other techniques or other forms he's going to have within this vote standing. Now, of course, we see the way to get around that eye-opening technique, you know, is to be fast. Because we see, what's his name? Oetsu, he cut him down like that. He defeated the X-axis like that. You see, he was too fast for him to open that eye, you know, and we go, you know. So we see that's the way around that, but of course this doesn't matter now. We see so far in this fight, Shunsu, he's not relying on Kido at all, just straight Shikai techniques. But at this point, I'm pretty sure this is going to push him to go Bunkai. Did he really hit or not? I don't know. If he did, we all know he's not dead because he's going to use Bunkai. If he didn't get hit, what a surprise. Probably one of those clones, you know, he took his eye off him, things like that. But at this point, Lyle, he's probably not concerned about the rules of the game anymore. At all. So, I did like this chapter. Apparently the pacing was good because it went by very quickly. Not a lot of dialogue, but it was straight to the point. That's what I liked. Do I think Lyle would die next chapter? No. I think this will go on for 2 more chapters or a chapter and a half at most. But I think Urahara will go off against Asuka Nakamura or Star Knight M. And that's when he will use his Bunkai, because we have to see their Bunkais. I'm waiting to see Byakuya get back into the mix. Grimjaw, hopefully he should get back up. And Ichigo, what the hell? I think Ichigo probably may fight Hashwell, or maybe Urahara will fight Hashwell. Who knows? But I hopefully you see, this is the thing. The announcer will be like, okay, look, that was the guy. Well, it would have been cool if she would have said, look, that was the guy sniping everybody. Now that he's being occupied by Shunsui, the Captain Commander, you know, we should take this time out to heal the others, especially Hisagi, who I swear he trained for Bunkai, but we will not see his Bunkai. Who he used the Bunkai on? That's what I'm trying to figure out. The Quincy numbers are just dying down, you know? Just count the numbers for both sides. What the hell? So, I don't know. Overall, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it, but Kubo with these crazy designs. I mean, and I know he's not. It's not. He just has bad taste. I mean, because we've seen some very good designs with Kubo. Damn, where were the Fullbringers play a role in this? Oh man, so many things. But yeah, that's all I got for this review. Elites. I mean, not too much happened. We just seen the main thing that happened. Lyle, Star Knight X, he was the main focus of it. He revealed. Oh yeah. And with him being the last one to become a Star Knight, one would think about Uryu, but the difference is this. Uryu drank Juraw's blood to become his successor, like his replacement. Not to become just another letter. There's only 26 letters in the English alphabet, so that's the difference. Lyle was the last one to become an official Star Knight. You know, not a replacement. So that's the difference right there. So, yeah, give me your thoughts, comments, and concerns. Do you think this is pushing him to go Bunkai? What do you think his Bunkai will be? And do you think that he will have other techniques? You know, when I say he, of course I'm talking about Lyle. Oh yeah, shout out to the one on my fan page who said the first thing he thought about was Swiss cheese when he seen those wings. But yeah, it's me, Captain Bowser. Thanks for all watching this Bleach review. I will see you all next week. Bleach chapter 646 on the regularly scheduled time. Thanks for watching. Signing out.